Okay, first question is from Fletcher Mackle. Go ahead, Fletch.
Thank you for taking a few minutes here. Obviously, Michael last year dealt with his contract situation, other players around the league. If you could just maybe kind of tell us where you are with that situation. Are negotiations ongoing? Do you think something will be worked out before the season? And is it important to have the deal going into the season, or is it not something you're concerned about playing without a new deal?
Yeah, as far as the contract goes, I'm not really focused on that. My main focus this offseason was getting back healthy. Had a rocky year last year dealing with injuries. So I've dealt with that, got back healthy, and I'm here now. Just trying to get back in the swing, trying to navigate what's going on with this Corona thing, and just focus on what we got to do as a team to be able to overcome this. So contract it'll happen when it happens. I'm not really too concerned with it.
Next question is from Nick Underhill. Nick?
Yeah, you mentioned the health. I mean, I'm sure you saw the speculation about body language and all this crazy stuff last year. And you've alluded to it a little bit about some of the stuff we went through. Can you just kind of maybe shed some light on what last season was like how healthy you weren't and what you did to get back to health?
Yeah, I mean, well, I injured myself early. I mean, Jacksonville week, I tore my knee basically, and I mean, that was something I was dealing with the whole season. Had to miss some time, which I don't like to do. Came back, tried to play as best I could, tried to manage it throughout the week. Our training staff did the best they could. Shout out to those guys, because, I mean, they were working with me, I mean, behind the scenes every day, trying to, get me as close to 100% or as close to AK, feeling like myself as I could. And, I mean, I tried to put my best product out on the field. And, sometimes it was enough, sometimes it wasn't. But, I just didn't want to let my team down. So, I mean, at times there were situations where in my head I'm like, I shouldn't be out here, but it's just that kind of urge in me to be like, I need to be here and help my team. What if I'm not in, and it's something I could have done? So just dealing with that, it was frustrating. So I mean, body language, obviously, I mean, not being able to move my leg how I want to. I mean, there was times where my body language was terrible, and I know it. It's one thing for fans to say it, but it's another. With my teammates, that's all I'm really concerned about. They knew what I was going through, and at times it's like, hey, okay, I know you're hurting, but come on. So I'm like, all right, come on, I got to snap back. But I'm healthy now, so I'm happy to be in this space now.
When you say you tore your knee, like what happened? And did it require surgery after the season or anything?
Nah, no surgery, just a lot of rehab.
Next question is from John DeShazer. John?
Actually asked and answered by Nick just answered.
Rehab.
All right. Next question is from Andrew Doak. Andrew?
Hey, Alvin. Hope you're doing well, man.
Thank you, too.
I'm just curious. I'm sure players have been I know you said you're not really focused on your contract at all right now, but just with the salary cap and whatnot and how COVID is affecting that, does that, was that in your conversations with your agent and whatnot, was that a focus for you guys to potentially, look towards the future and more money could potentially be made in theory?
Yeah, like I said, that first question, as far as contract goes, I'm not concerned with contract talks at all. Like, I mean, me and my agent talked briefly about it, and I told him, I said, don't tell me anything about a contract until it's like something where it's happening, or, if it's something that I need to know. Other than that, like, I mean, if I was my old agent, then I'll have everything to tell you guys about a contract, but I'm not, and I don't talk upstairs about contracts. I don't talk to coaches about contracts. I'm just here to do my job. I'm healthy. I'm back with my teammates, and we're working towards getting ready for Tampa.
If I could ask you just really quick, have you been following stuff with the college football season? And, it seems like it's kind of coming to a point where maybe it might not happen. Have you been following along with that? And I guess, what do you feel like y'all are doing at the NFL level from a testing standpoint that makes it that much safer, or where you guys feel more comfortable, where obviously maybe the college football is falling short?
I've seen a little bit. I've seen guys like Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields up in Ohio State. They've been saying a little bit. I've seen conferences trying to be proactive and have talks and sit down and try to figure out what the closest thing to norm will be for the season. But I mean, it's unknown. There was a time where everybody thought this thing was going away, and it came back stronger. And we're just trying to do our best. Like I said earlier, we're trying to do our best within our organization to navigate the pandemic and do all the right things within protocol that our training staff has come up with to be safe and best protect ourselves and our families and just our whole organization. It's tough. It's not normal. It's not what we're used to. But we just gotta do our best to roll with the punches, so to say.
Thanks, sir. Appreciate it.
Next question is from Mike Triplett. Mike?
Hey, Alvin. Sorry to harp on this subject, but some other running backs are talking about their contract being a big issue. Is part of the reason it's on the back burner for you because you kind of want to bet on yourself in a sense? I mean, obviously, all of us as an agent could figure out, another 18 touchdown season or 2,000 yard season puts you in a better position. Is there any sense that you're not pushing for it right now because you kind of want to bet on a monster season at all?
I bet on myself every year, but it's not really. I mean, it's just not something that it's never been something like I didn't come in like think about like, oh, I can't wait till I get a contract. It's like I'm playing, and when that comes, it's gonna be well deserved and it's gonna be perfect timing for it. It's just not something that's like on the forefront of my day. It's like it's not something I wake up thinking about. I just wake up thinking about, all right, I got to do what I have to do for this team to win, put myself in the best position to be successful, and then with team success comes individual success. So that's what I'm focused on, and that's been my message since I've been here.
Next question is from Christopher Dunnels.
Hey, Alvin, you mentioned your knee injury from last year, and I've seen your training videos in the offseason this year, and your legs look like tree trunks. So has your training been kind of focused on adding muscle and building your strength there? Yeah,
it definitely has been. Any type of lower extremity injury, whether it be knee, ankle, hip, I mean, anything. I mean, I think, once you get out of playing mode and you get into recovery mode, it's kind of like, all right, what can we focus on to, strengthen whatever was injured and strengthen what's around it. So, working with my trainer, Sharif down in Miami, I mean, that's every year, but, we really locked in and focused on trying to, just fortify my ankles, knees, hips, just create some more flexibility, mobility, strengthen, obviously, those ligaments in my knee and, create some more stability, more than I already had. And we did a good job of that, so I feel good, and I'm excited about being able to get back to playing how I know I can play.
Okay, next question is for Kat Terrell. Kat?
Hey, I was just curious. Obviously, knees are so important to a running back, but what happens when you have a knee injury? Is it more like you lose your speed or you lose your ability to make lateral movement and some cuts?
It's a combination of things: speed, lateral cuts, just that confidence, the stability. So it's a lot of times where I get into situations last season where I wouldn't even think twice about being able to break a tackle or bounce it outside and turn a 2-yard gain into 10. But last year was a lot of just get what I can get and go down and don't do too much because I could possibly hurt my knee more, or it's too painful to even think about making another move. So it's like it was a lot of, I wouldn't say uncharacteristic because obviously I was injured, but just it wasn't what I would like to put on film. But again, like I said, just a competitor in me, I just want to be there for my team and be on the field. So
next question is for Luke Johnson. Luke?
Hey, Alvin. Just curious what you thought of the kind of unified front. A lot of your peers took the NFL with social justice initiatives, and on top of that, what you thought of the league's response.
I think it was cool. I mean, it's a lot of conversations and topics that have been discussed and had that I don't think some guys usually don't have. I know me personally, this has been a topic that's been on my plate, teammates, friends, family for forever. This is something that like I'm pretty passionate about, and I have conversations about this just in my regular everyday life. So for it to be so prominent now, and guys that are kind of stepping out of their comfort zone and stepping into that light and being able to have those conversations and express themselves and express their feelings about it, it's amazing to see, and it's really like, I mean, it's strength in numbers. So to see all these guys band together and step behind and stand behind one thing is incredible.
Next question is for Fletcher. Fletch?
If I could follow up on what you just said about that, about people having uncomfortable conversations or learning new things, the situation with what you all dealt with, did you speak to personally? Do you all have ongoing conversations? Is it something that's you all have moved on from, or is it an evolving process?
We've grown from it. We moved on from it. We talked to him. I talked to Drew personally when it happened. It's something that we dealt with internally. Whatever the outside has to say, it is what it is. We know who Drew is. We're with him every day. We interact with him every day. We know who he is as a person. And whatever it was, whatever the issue was that happened. It is what it is. We already addressed it. We talked about it as a team. We moved on. Drew's still here. We got football to play. We're moving on.
Next question is for Nick Underhill. Nick?
Did you feel like those first 5 games last year before the injury were kind of like the highest level you played at, or can you push that bar even higher? Or?
Yeah, I felt good. I felt good last year from game 1 all the way up until I hurt my knee. It was unfortunate because, like you said, I feel like I was playing at a very high level, and I feel like it was just on the up from there. And I feel like it's easy to reach back to that level, but I know I got more growing to do. I know there's areas I can get better in, so that's what I kind of focus on this off season, and we're gonna hit the ground running when we get ready to play.
Next question is for Andrew Doak.
Alvin, have you been staying at the hotel, and if so, could you give us a glimpse into kind of what the day-to-day or night-to-night experience is there? I'm sure it's different than anything you've really experienced.
During camp we're pretty much quarantined every year. We do the same thing every year, but I guess now it has a new term, bubble. But camp every year is the same as it is right now. Like we stay in the hotel. Of course, barring the circumstances that we're in a global pandemic. We're pretty much secluded from everybody during camp. We go from the hotel to the facility, back to the hotel. It's really the same thing. I don't know. It's kind of like one of them things like you got to kind of be in it to understand it. So, it's I guess what you call quarantine.
Next question is for Luke Johnson.
Oh, you kind of touched on it briefly earlier, but did you put on weight this offseason, or did you change anything about yourself physically besides just the stability of the joints and stuff?
I didn't really put on much more weight than I've usually been. I'm usually in between really all season. I'm usually between 212, 215. Right now I'm 211. But really just kind of changed my diet a little bit. Kind of went a little bit plant based. Kind of cut out some things, cut out some sugars, cut out some the sodium, things like that. Got with my chef and just put together a plan and stuck to it and still sticking to it. So I think changed my body a little bit, look a little bit different, but all in all, still good, still positive.
Next question is from Nick Underhill.
Just following up on that last one, you said there's some room for growth in your game. What are some of the areas you feel like you can make some growth?
Definitely just identification, just with my eyes. A lot of things I play pretty fast, and sometimes I get ahead of myself. Might miss some things that are pretty simple, but just eyes, just getting ahead of my mind, moving ahead of my body. With pass protections or just catching the ball. Sometimes I take my eyes off the ball just because of that I guess confidence that I can catch any ball that comes towards me. But you still gotta look at the ball. You gotta get down to the fundamentals. So just breaking a lot of things down to fundamentals, and going back and revisiting things and just fortifying them, making them stronger, because there's a lot of things that we take for granted in this game. Something as small as catching the ball. There's so many components that go into catching the ball that you don't even really think about it until you break it down, and it's like, okay, that's the art of catching the ball. It's really an art to it. Or just pass protection, something as simple as blocking a linebacker, but there's so many aspects that go into a blitz that you might miss one thing that you miss a block. So just little things.
Next question is from Kat Terrell.
With all the uncertainty and craziness and whatnot this summer, did you kind of hold your breath until training camp actually started? Or by that I mean, did you ever have any doubts that it wasn't ever actually going to happen?
I don't know. I was just doing what I usually do: train, work out, and when we ready to come back, I come back. So I wasn't really like, I guess I wasn't really looking for it to go one way or the other. I was just like, all right, well, when they say come on, we going. So
Maybe it's just the rest of us then. Maybe we all spend too much time on the internet.
yeah, I don't know. I was kind of off that. I was just focusing on what I had to do.
Next question is from Mike Triplett.
Hey, Alvin, what makes Demario Davis so special from your standpoint as a versatile runner receiver kind of back?
Man, first of all, DeMario is one of the smarter players I've played against and with. You know, I played against him. He was in New York my rookie year for the Jets, and I mean, I thought he was a hell of a player then. And then just to have him on my team, you see why. And you know, the way he studies film, the way he approaches practice, from a walkthrough to a full speed practice to a padded practice to just helmets. I mean, there's so many little intricacies in his game that make him great. You know, he's tuned into alignments. You know, I mean, DeMario could sometimes in practice he could tell what I'm running from just like the smallest little split that I take. You know, he'll call it out like, oh, he's wide, or he's close to Drew, or you know, watch him, he's looking this way, he's looking left, he's looking right, or you know, just little things like he's pointing everything out. He's athletic. I mean, he runs better than some of the guys on offense, honestly. So I mean, it's hard just going up against him. You got to be on your A game. There's not a lazy play you can take against him because he's gonna take advantage of your mistake. So I mean, definitely glad to have him on my team. Heck of a player. Definitely passionate. One of our leaders. Definitely an emotional leader, locker room leader. Leader on the field, off the field. I mean, he's doing things in the community. I mean, just an all around great guy. Just stepping outside of football, just a great person. Just to know, not even talking about football, just a great man.